but there's just nothing Omar Narvaez is bringing to the table right now that really warrants a roster spot, other than the fact that Francisco Alvarez is hurt. Um, and in my mind, if you're going to roster a guy who's going to hit 150 with a sub 4 OPS, you might as well just bring up Hayden Sanger. you know, why not? I'd rather have the younger defensive, and he's probably better defensively. We hear about how great he is defensively within the organization. So, I mean, once Alvarez comes back, I think we both agree they're not going to send Nito down. Um, they're not going to cut
No,
him. Narvaez is going to be the guy to go. Um, so I'm just really hoping that Alvarez gets back as soon as possible because I'm pretty much done with Omar Narvaez, and I have a feeling you feel the same way. But maybe not as you won't be as harsh as I was.
we have a new segment on the show starting this week. It's Andrew's List. Uh, Andrew's List with
The A list.
Matt he hates. Starting with Omar Narvaez and Starling Marte. Who will it be next week? Oh, Harrison Bader can be on the list after his remarks that he wanted more playing time. So a fun little list. Getting more and more out there, Andrew,
It
Mr.
could grow.
Fan.
Who knows? But you see,
Probably.
you make fun of me about Narvaez, but you've said the same thing. So don't make it seem like you're some kind of saint.
I am a saint. Uh, but yeah, no, I mean, it's obvious. He, yeah, you can all go all the way back to when the Mets acquired Omar Narvaez, when they had Thomas Nido on a 2-year deal. I think at that point Thomas Nido came off. Was he a finalist in Gold Gloves the year before,
I think he
or
might have
something
been,
like that?
yeah, because he basically took over the starting role late in the season. I think he
Yeah,
was a finalist for Gold Glove. I think you might be right.
and well, they brought in Narvaez, and we both said, I mean, obviously James McCann's tenure as a Met wasn't good, but we didn't necessarily see that much of an upgrade in Omar Narvaez. And now you paid James McCann, I think it's like 16 or something million, maybe even more, to play somewhere else. And you get Omar Narvaez for 2 years, and that money, is added to your payroll. So if eventually you paid Omar Narvaez probably like 24 million to play for us, if you could see it that way, and I did see it that way. I think it was unnecessary. Uh, you pay McCann anyways, and McCann was at least a guy who I like defensively. So even if you have Nido and McCann out there, you have a good defensive duo. Right now, you don't have that. Nido solid, by the way, but Narvaez not. And yeah, just absolutely didn't work out. And I'm not that type of guy who goes back to, moves that they make. Also, if I think it's a good move and it turns out differently, I would say, yeah, but it could still be a good move at that time. But for this moment, I would say that we were both 100% correct that this was a terrible way of handling catchers, and it's the second time. Now I'm getting a little bit aggravated, by the way, because we also had that Travis d'Arnaud situation where they traded Clevin Plawecki. You had two solid catchers. They weren't great, but you had two solid catchers. You decided to go with Travis d'Arnaud, and you give him like 2 to 3 weeks after coming back from Tommy John surgery, and then you just throw him away. Uh, so it's now the second time that they totally mess up the catcher situation. And I mean, the Mets have to, are yeah they want to be very they should be very 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 happy that they developed a young catcher who is really good for the near for the near future in Francisco Alvarez, because if we didn't have Francisco Alvarez, we would be stuck with these two. And I, by the way, also agree with your take this time about Hayden Senger, who has been in the Mets organization for a long time, has been a tremendous defender. I think at some point last year or the year before, he was organizational defender of the year. So the Mets really like his defense. He's putting up okay numbers in AAA. I think his OPS is like 725, which obviously isn't great. But yeah, look at the OPS. Omar Narvaez is sporting right now. Get a younger guy and just get done with it.